Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend and content creator and part of the channel, Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Yourself?
I'm doing well. So, we're going to talk about the 50-40-10 program, but really going to do it under a different lens.
Okay.
I've been very clear that I think the real estate market is changing. I've been very clear that I think housing transactions are going to crash and that the opportunity is going to go up for investors. I had a comment this morning that I will summarize because it frustrates me, but we're going to dig into the 50-40-10 is kind of the answer. So this new subscribers like, hey, Zuber, you contradict yourself all the time. You're talking about a housing crash here, but no price. But then you're talking about getting great deals. How can you get a great deal if the market doesn't collapse? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So let's talk about it because, again, you are going to be a provider of some of the solutions. First and foremost, I do not see a crash in housing prices. The median housing price in 2022 is not going to fall.
Right. Now, let me stop you there.
Sure.
Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So go ahead, Michael. And then, by the way, hold on. Let me.
Thank you for protecting me.
Of course, no worries. And then, of course, I just noticed in the camera, man, I need to get a haircut. Wow, this is getting bad. So here, let's do let's at least, yeah, there we go.
Looking better, looking good.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm going to be clear. No housing crash in price, housing crash in transactions.
Yep.
I will find great deals. So to answer the question, how could I find a great deal and values not collapse? I don't need the entire market to collapse. I need to find 1, 2, or 3 people that sells me a deal. Second, a great deal to me doesn't mean anything about price. And this just drives people crazy because I am playing a different game than all of you idiots following Nick. There's a channel out there who's been talking about price cuts and he's talking about 30% this summer. Nick is wrong. He's been wrong for years and he's wrong again. Good investors use bad markets like this to get creative deals. I will overpay. I will pay more than a house is worth, a fourplex is worth, an apartment is worth, if I can get the terms that allow me to hold the deal forever and maximize cash flow. How can I do that? 50-40-10.
Right.
I will take, let's talk about a fourplex at $1 million. Let's call that wish pricing. Let's say the market's worth $950, but the seller wants $1 million. I could, in theory, pay $1,050,000. I could overpay, Stephen. I could get a 50% loan from Velocity Mortgage. I can get a 40% loan from the seller. And then all I have to do is bring in roughly $100,000, $105,000 to be exact. And oh, by the way, because I overpaid, I will get the seller to take back 0%, like you talked about in the first video. No interest. My blended interest rate on 90% debt will be sub 4%. How do you like me now, Mr. You can't get a great deal in this market? I'm just playing a different game than everybody else.
Right. I mean, it's just follow the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You could say all kind of multi-syllabic adjectives to kind of describe, theories and innuendos and, but it's just like when in execution, different story, you know what I mean? So we look at the result. We don't look at the, maybe, and I think, and my belief is like, no. What are the numbers? Because the numbers don't lie. So it's a different game, like you said, but it's an easy game to play when you just know what to do. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, but yeah, common sense is not common in this world. But in this case, if you just follow the people that have, done it before, people like yourself that have walked the walk and you just kind of look where you're at. I mean, you've achieved a certain level of success. So you would imagine you're kind of doing something right. So anyway, my take on it.
Yeah. Again, I want people to hear this because I'm really talking to the investors who want to do the work and who are interested in changing their life and building wealth. It is not always about price. I hope people hear this. Some of the best deals I have done, I have paid market and a couple of times over. I still remember the house that I overpaid by 20%. The seller was adamant his worth. I think it was 120. I thought it was worth 100. I ended up paying 120. I got a 30-year loan at 0%. He felt great. I felt great too, because at the time rates were like 6.5 or 6 3/4. I got 0. Believe me, I won.
Well, everybody has their, reasoning as to why they would do, whatever type of business transaction. And if you walk away from either side, getting what you're looking for, then,
Yeah.
like you said, it's a win-win for everybody. So he got what he wanted. You got really what you wanted. So in the end, everybody won in a sense.
Yeah. And again, I just want people to realize in the market that's ahead of us, the creative entrepreneur, the creative investor is going to win. A lot of people don't have to sell. 50% of loans are below 4%, 33% of loans are below 3.5%, according to Black Knight.
Right.
People don't have to sell. The move up buyer is dead. First time homeowners can't find, but you will find those sellers that will turn into motivated sellers. They're going to be like, why isn't this selling? After 15 days. And then, 2 months from now, it'll be 30 days. And I will not write an offer at asking. I will do two offers cash in terms. And the terms are going to be the 50, 40, 10, right? I am marketing to owners who have 60% equity or greater because I want to push the 50, 40, 10. If I can get, I don't know, a dozen properties at 10% down, seller taking 40%, I win.
It's just simple math, man. It really is. It's just like doing the numbers, and then you'll see what it all. Oh, okay. And I think that's maybe when that little light bulb comes on. It's like, oh, cash flow. Where if you reallocate where the debt is done and or paid, and 0% on the second, if you can negotiate that. And then I think again, leading to episode 3, I think I'll put in my 2 cents of where they can learn that skill set, because I think that's like the number one question in the 50, 40, 10 setup is, how do you get that? What are the terms on the second? Who negotiates that? Or how do you get that? And I'll typically just say, hey, I don't get any stock in my course or like that. But I mean, there's a really good section in there. I bought the course.
Yeah.
So I know what's in there, but it's very creative, financing subjects that people really need to learn. And again, shout out to Cody, who we're working with as well.
Nice.
You got to scale up. And I think this is the right time, man. All you got to do is just get prepared, so I think we've talked about this in a couple of episodes previously. You're like the financial weatherman, where like, hey, it's about to get, hail and rain coming. So just put on your raincoats and umbrellas and, figuratively speaking, that's kind of what we're doing.
Let's go to work. This channel is not about, it's really funny because again, I'm seeing a definite turn or pivot in YouTube University. More and more channels going fear, scare, because they're getting clicks, right? Fear sells. Sure. I will certainly bring the bad news. In fact, I will often predict the bad news. But for me, it's like, okay, how do we use this, right? I did a live stream at 7 o'clock this morning going, all right, I called the CPI. I was better. I was right than everybody else. But now this is what happens. Let's do this together. Again, wealth is made in recessions and bear markets. You can be scared and sit on your ass and make somebody else rich. Or you can do the work and make your family wealthy. I'm trying to get people wealthy. So if they want to reach out to you and get some numbers and whatnot on the 50, 40, 10 or portfolio loans or 30-year loans on apartments or house hacking an apartment, how do you want them to reach out?
Again, just email me sdao@velocitymortgage.com. Subject line, just the acronym ORAAT. So you can get it over the firewall. The body of the email, maybe simple description, what you're looking for, property type you want to invest in. Address would be great, at least city and state that you're investing in, just to verify we lend there. Your mid-FICO score would also be helpful. And of course, the best number to reach you at, and I'll be in touch within 24, 48 hours.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.